Who are you?
Bond. Jim Bond.
Yeah, so drawing some stuff again. Yeah, today is not like tutorial, just like regular stream and drawing some stuff while I'm preparing my next mind-blowing tutorials. Так, let's... Yeah, hello Jet Barber. Yeah, I have one more Jim Bond.
Name's Bond.
Jim Bond.
Yeah. So here we'll draw some cars in a 3-point perspective. It's like a man cave with supercars. Так, let's see. Yeah. Like currently for next tutorials, it's like it's weird how my brain works. But it's like I work in simultaneously like 5 tutorials, prepare for future. Like there, I have these 2 tutorials about how to rotate in perspective. Like some I want to do also about like intuitive perspective, which is like, you know, very popular on YouTube. Everybody wants to draw like Kim Jong-gi. Everybody want to draw without pencil and stuff. And I was always talk about like how unnecessary it is. And but then also I think I should to acknowledge that as practice is really cool stuff. It's like to practice from time to time, draw absolutely without perspective grids. Like, you know, like in a Kim Jong-gi performance when he drew his murals. Yeah, forget to look Mickey Mouse. I'll check it out today. Amazing Lost Ocean. Probably some Uncharted Mickey Mouse. Так. Here we have interesting construction. So to draw like Kim Jong-gi, if you not work like you know, when you need to perform, when you need to demonstrate, like actually on YouTube, you know, like if you make YouTube channel about drawing, it's actually like very convenient to be able to draw like Kim Jong-il, because you attract attention. Like everybody's like, wow, this guy can draw. Which, as you see again, it's like different from like professional artists. Like they will take pencil, draw some stuff with pencil, and after draw details over it, and it's totally fine. No problem with that. Also, like if you make like public events, like for example, like you sell your comic book, or you on a token and draw. Whatever event, you just need to attract more attention. So when you draw without underlines, it's just like revealing kind of, you're revealing like super complex, insane, like mind-blowing perspective for people. It looks like a magic. They just like, they cannot, they will like, they don't have any information which will explain them like how is it possible. It's only some kind of magic or inherent ability, like somebody just can draw like this. You've been chosen by gods, you know, so you can draw so amazingly. So, and I was always saying, yeah, another time you don't need actually this ability to draw without pencil. But then recently I kind of like little adjust my opinion. So this, it's like I was always saying, if we look like Ryan Barry illustrations or Daniel Warren Johnson, if you will like kind of take a ruler, or you will like, you know, start to measure everything and like take like study book with a perspective, and you start to like check how correct their perspective, how like they should be correct, right? They call themselves real artists, so their perspective must be perfect, right? Oh, and in reality, it's not. It's like it is never perfect. So it's always at certain level. It's like kind of shortcuts. You always eventually, when you do actual work, it's how you manage like your shortcuts. Because it's just like killing flow. It's killing your zone's flow state when you measure and everything. It should be fluent. So it's kind of always about this balance of technical and like intuitive approach. And so this intuitive approach, yeah, it's kind of like what Kim Jong-il is showing. It's just like, for a certain extent, you're not trying totally draw absolutely without pencil, but you kind of like juggling it. Sometimes it's pencil, but you're not drawing like every details and all structure with pencil. You just make hints, and then you draw freehand. You make, you kind of like intuitively you guess in perspective, like maybe like at least 50% of time you will guess perspective without like measuring it. So that's why have some practice with this kind of like without perspective, grids, drawing just with a marker or liner is just improve your ability to be more fluent. It just give you more resources for this like fluent, intuitive part of your work. So you can just feel, you give yourself kind of ability to be more comfortable kind of with making shortcuts. You do shortcuts more confidently and they're more accurate. It's kind of goal. So you're not trying to learn to become artists who draw without pencil. No, you just train yourself to be more just kind of like more loose and correct in same time. So you will not like make major errors when you making shortcuts with perspective. Yeah, but sounds clear here. So what I'm talking is like, I think it's important, like it's a mention that every time you drawing without pencil, it's always based on your ability, on your knowledge of how it works, and your ability also to draw it very slow and proper. So just like more slow and proper practice you do, more accurate kind of will be your intuitive sketches. But also like to improve your intuitive sketching, you can also spend some time practicing it without just like isolate practice, So we'll do also video about it. Так, so there's I'm talking this. I watched like video very cool from artists like called Zeph Draws. Seems very cool. You should watch. So he talking about this intuitive drawing. I think like best from what I seen. Don't remember much like, because like I say, there is a lot of very interesting distinctions and specifics, which different artists they talk differently about such stuff. And sometimes from students you can hear they're like complaining, no. And I sometimes use this just like trope of complaining, not like I'm really resentful. It's kind of okay. But like students sometimes say like, why my teacher don't tell me that, right? Like I was in art college, but nobody teach me this. And one reason for this is just because it's really very complex subject. You cannot realistically, you can't expect there is some teacher who will like teach you everything and explain everything in every possible way. It's impossible. It's so huge, it's so nuanced. So eventually it's always your job to make sure you really get it, you really understand, you really figure out, like whatever you want. You want like anatomy, okay. You like don't rely on one teacher, don't rely on one source. Your teacher like a trampoline. It's like your spark or introduction. But to really get complete understanding, it should be your own effort. And when you go, maybe you experiment yourself, looking for different ways, study materials, study references. It's like, you know, like people even go to morgue to study this kind of, how's it called, cadavers. This is how, at least before, how everybody study anatomy. So we need to be proactive, not always like kind of wait somebody will explain you stuff, right? Because it's an insanely difficult thing to teach this stuff. Yeah. And it's funny, like I also find video where Kim Jong-gi interview, he like drawing something and he'll answer questions from viewers in the chat with a Korean translator. Somebody asked about like, oh, it's like I want to draw only with a pen, like you, Mr. Kim Jong-il. But it's kind of so tempting to use pencil because you draw with pencil is so confident and stuff. And Kim Jong-il say like, yeah, if you draw more with a pen, you will be more confident with a pen. But Kim Jong-il say next, you know, it's like his words. He said like, I don't know why people see a problem with a pencil. It's no problem at all. Like, you should use pencil. It's important. It's Kim Jong-il words. And I mean, like, people who really look his work, it will be not surprised because we see his early work. They're like, don't look different from any other artist. Like when they very heavy with a pencil, because like before you're able to make shortcuts, and make shortcuts, it means you're doing them efficiently, right? It's not like you just like it's total mess. No, you can intuitively, you can freehand drawing objects in the proper perspective. So to be able to draw like this fluently, intuitively, you need to have previous experience of a building perspective. You know, like this, like drawing through, like there is like, it can be what's this word? It can be debates like how long and how well you should be with this kind of draftsman stuff. Like if you look Marshall Wandrov, right? Like he's an absolutely machine. He kind of his earliest drawings, like perspective stuff, he really like built 3D models with a perfect rendering. And I think it's not actually necessary. It's always good to be able to draw like this. For sure, it's good. But if you want to draw like Kim Jong, like Daniel Warren Johnson or some kind of manga, I don't even know. Like there is no, I think it's no manga artist who have this skill. It's like it's over. It's like little over. They don't need so much skill with perspective. I mean, with this like precise perspective draftsmanship, but they much better with intuitive loose drawing in perspective. So for me, balance is make sure you understand how perspective grids works, how box work, how rotation works in perspective. So you spend some time to drawing it properly with a perspective grid. You can even use a ruler for this stage. I think it's totally fine. But then you switch for freehand drawing when you kind of like making shortcuts, when you like don't draw grid, for example, or when you guessing perspective, right? Because like when you draw vehicles or people, especially people and this kind of complex dynamic organic objects, you need to do a lot shortcuts but just to save your time and energy. Because like if you will start to calculate like rotation of every limb every time, it just will be so dry and slow pace. It will kind of like just destroy all this like flow, and it will be feels in your drawing. It will look like some kind of architect project instead of comic book page, you know. Так, let's draw some people here. Так. So this let's do like a GTA 6. How I forget? GTA 6 hideout. Yeah, hideout. So here we have this main character. I forget his name. Let's call him Jimmy. Jimmy, and he have like barman here. And they just after haste. So here is a lot of money. Maybe it's open case like this. Так, here can do like raid. Here's like door kickers. Oh no, already approaching around. One. Oh, and here is Lucia. Sit near him. Okay. Just, it's like artist nightmare. It's all these tangents, because like I have railing here, and I need to be careful like this railing don't touch sofa. Then I need to make sure her hands, her feet not standing kind of on this railing, because it start to look like perspective illusion. It's like she behind, but at the same time is like this tangent with legs kind of breaks this perception. So it rather should be like overlapping or be like far from this railing. It's kind of every time you need pick these tiny things. So it's interesting how simple composition principles, just even if you manage to just like avoid tangents, it's already make your composition much better. Так. Yeah. So it's like if you have one object, right? If you draw like next object like this, it should be like flat pattern, or if it's like there in a space, it's like two different 3D objects, like two box, for example, right? And if they're like in your drawing, they contact each other like this, it's just weird. It starts to be like very annoying for a viewer. He's just like, what is happening here? It's became very confusing and annoying, irritating. Yeah, it became very irritating. So instead, it should be like some distance to make it clear there is a gap between this object. Or should be like some also very clear overlapping. So usually, it's like if you look on the edge, it should be like half or a third, like a golden cut, right? So here, this line, for example, so in this line, right? So I will do like, here's like almost, yeah, kind of like a golden cut, and here it's middle. So it's like, again, here I have this box side, right? And I draw this second box behind with overlapping. So I make sure all overlapping, it's clear, is like a middle or one third, because it's helped to make it clear, not like vibrating like in like not very clearly stating. So here you see, right? It's a middle, like in this line, it's a middle point, go like this. Here, it's about one third, kind of about golden cut. I have this line here for this like side of this box. And same in this box, I have this like invisible side, right? So about half of this invisible side is appear. Again, just to make it clear. So it's like not kind of this like tangent case because if I draw like this box again, for example, and second box is kind of this, it became very kind of on the edge. It's still fine, especially like with the line art. I can make it nice because it's still clear. Like we have this corner here and we have this here, right? But you see how close to tangent it became. So, and horrible, like a worst case, what every beginner do, because somehow it's like our brain is just tend to kind of, I don't know, draw every lines together. It's some kind of this, you see. So now it's not sure. It's like, is it here? Are they like all going to one point or not? It's kind of like not clear. So it became like this, like kind of noise, like vibrating tangent, kind of like. And some artists do it purposefully. They create this uncertainty, so it's make viewer, or it's like it can create visual illusions or make like viewer like little nervous. It's again like with a perspective, like you can do perspective loose by decision, just because maybe you save your energy or you want it to be like less strict, to be like more organic, right? So you make it more loose. But beginner or like less educated, less experienced artist, he do this stuff without control. He doing it not by decision, but accidentally. So all this tangent, all this like uncertain composition decisions, they are just occasional and they distributed absolutely randomly. There is no reason, there is no storytelling behind. It's just a kind of like awkward accident. If we can have like lucky accident, this one is like awkward and embarrassing, because like beginner artist, he want everything to be perfect, but here's this embarrassing mistake and he feels so horrible about this, like, oh no, I want to be perfect but there's a mistake, and he try to cover it with a character or erasing it fiercely, or he even not aware of it, which is again most of cases he even don't know aware of it, because it's like nuance. Is this kind of mistakes, like you need to know how to do right to see what you do wrong, right? So same like when you draw some picture and people giving you feedback, like people who is not artist, they give you some feedback and it's like, what the hell are you talking about, I was like, what? Kind of no offense, but like I don't like from where you get this like I, idea, like, are we looking same picture? And then I understand they just don't know what to say. So like people who is not artist, often they look a picture, they see, they like it, it's impressive, but they don't know why. So and their brain start to looking for a reason. Their brain trying to explain why it's good based on their idea of art, idea of like creative process. So like I have like most of my drawings have this kind of like shaky line, like because I don't use ruler. And like so often people like giving me compliments, like say like, wow, your line's so straight. So like I was spending hours like breaking my brain, figuring out composition, and only good part kind of about my drawing is this composition. But feedback I have is people say like, oh, your line's so straight. Like you can draw without ruler, it's amazing. And like, wow. But I understand, yeah, they just don't know about composition. They just don't know like how to complement. So they say just like, probably it's about straight lines. So, so they're telling me like, yeah, lines, so great. Very impressive. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So how I teach, tell my students, I say, you not only learn how to do right, you also learn how to draw wrong. You learn how to make mistakes too. It's important. You learn like because you need to understand you when you create when it's not technical drawing, right? Technical drawing, it's like a genre. It have conventions, so it's very easy to make it. I mean, it's possible to make it perfect because there's like very limited rules. There is like strict limited rules, like conventions. So if you follow in it, okay, like when you follow all instructions, kind of, yeah, you can call it perfect stuff. But in a drawing, like I mean, like creative drawing, when you draw illustration, comic book, whatever, there's like goal is totally different. Like to follow certain conventions, it's a secondary. It's like how good you draw, it's a secondary. Number one goal is to deliver some message and create impact. You make an impact on a viewer, like whoa, and like uh, most of like best artworks, best movies, best books, like all these like masters, like Marquez, Hemingway, I don't know, Dickens, like whatever you look, you can always break it down and find there a lot of like a bloopers or like how it's called holes, a lot of errors in their structure. It's not perfect as it seems. It's a lot of like a story holes, a lot of even some like mistakes kind of with the basic things. Like you teach students something and then you see master have a problem with this thing. Like he doesn't make it properly. So it's kind of like totally typical stuff. And also right now it's convenient with YouTube because there's so many like children who criticizing professional works. So you can see like how many mistakes in professional work. So just to have better to understand this idea that if these masters did this kind of mistakes, so idea of making perfect work, it's dubious. It's just unrealistic idea. It's just because why? I think I read it in some book too. Because because purpose is to make effect, and in reality, like viewers, they not absolutely rely on a writer. It's not like they're passive viewers. Like you go to movie cinema and you just like, just show me movie. I will just like sit like a piece of wood, and just perceive your movie. In reality, viewers for movie, for art, for music, for everything, they're also contributing. They want to be entertained and they help a creator to be entertained. So it's like artist and movie maker. He is actor, right? He is actual performer, like this person who make it happen. So it's because of his action this actually happened. But to be like, how to say, the whole performance, whole game is not only about creator. Whole game is about viewers too. It's about conventions, viewers. So in reality, is everybody together kind of making it performance. So it's kind of called suspension of disbelief. Is like one element of it. So viewers, they so much need emotions and this kind of experience. So they pretend like it's real. They eager. They wish to believe to author. So they deliberately close their eyes for some like mistakes, like a children playing. I don't know English how you call it. Like when in childhood, when boys and girls play together, usually is like family, right? So it's like boy play husband, girl play like wife or kind of mother-in-law. So they're kind of like playing family, right? Like they're pretending like they're adults, and of course they know their children, but like kind of for a purpose of a game, they're together kind of pretending like playing with these roles. So same with the viewer, like part of viewer job is to believe. Viewers need to believe, create like their witness real masterpiece, kind of. They need to believe and to be convinced kind of in it. It's kind of like part of a game is their job to be like malleable. If a viewer go to cinema and he kind of like, I will like break down your movie, I will look for all your mistake, I will be like examinator, then he is not good viewer. It's kind of he like not following agreement kind of with this, because you can like analyze work afterwards. It will be like other kind of watch. It's like more professional, like analytical, right? When you go with a purpose to, maybe you need to give feedback or you want to learn from other artist mistakes and stuff like this. But as a viewer, you need to be kind of suspend your disbelief. So that's why, like, I mean, it's very interesting. It's important to have this and to know this stuff. There is some other ideas about this theory of games. like game, not like in the mathematics, like theory of games, like theater. Because like when say like everything is like theater, is in this sense. Because they say like, okay, like creative people, they kind of like taking this role, social role. So like in our societies, in human societies in general, like every human society, have this like like a basic archetype, like essential role, like again like a father, mother, children, elder, like some like wise elder. I say it's archetypes, right? Like every human society have this. So and same is creative people. So creative people, it's a kind of a role for society, is like some person um, who help viewers to focus their creative force. Everybody has this creative energy, like creative core, like this, like like engine kind of, right? Like which make us like have this imagination, thinking about past, future, abstract thinking. Everybody has this, but creative people there became like kind of like a conductor in orchestra. They manage to focus, to organize all this collective uh, force, creative force, focus into one object. So this will be like illustration or screen in the cinema. So like when people watch movie, it's not movie that which made by people who make it. It's also a movie which exists when people watch it. So it's like it's very complex, it's like a very complex idea. So it's very, yeah, and it's interesting. It's mind blowing. So actor in theater, yeah, I hear it from theater actors. They tell on this, and I was like, yeah, really, so cool. Because they say like when they perform in theater, right? They get into the stage, into state kind of when um, it's not just you kind of like act on a certain script, like, oh, I prepare some script and I move in for this script kind of. No, he say it's like let's say it's like he acts as a certain like canal for this creative energy which he have, and when he actually became this like a canal, like this retranslator kind of this creative energy, because this every roles in the theater, the, they exist not in the paper, they exist in everybody head. Everybody has these roles inside. So when actor play a certain role which is archetypical, it's not so new. Everybody knows these roles, like a king, warrior, thief, whatever, victim. When he plays this role, when he really like became this role, then he became not just like has this like canal kind of outlet for his this role which exists inside him. He became outlet for this role, which every people in the theater, every viewers have this role, and now they see how their inner side gets through this actor on a stage. So he kind of like became like, he opened this, so, and they really can feel it. It's insane. It's insane. So in the movie makers, they doing exactly the same thing. You're not making some kind of like in a box, tiny box thing. No, in reality, you create like a gate, and this gate, it's for everybody to uh, open their selves, like so they can like open themselves and see who they are. And when like it's really powerful when it's like happen collectively, like in a cinema or in a theater, in some kind of like gallery. And there have been also like some studies about this stuff. So it's not just like some dude's fancy talk. It's really like was some interesting anthropology kind of stuff, study about this. It's very interesting, very cool. So like I tell before, like always tell, like why I tell in this, it's not just like blah, 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 like funny talk. Having like more nuanced and detailed idea about creative process, make your creative process more nuanced and more original, kind of, right? Like more authentic, more authentic. Because it's like if your idea, if you don't have idea on what you're doing, then your creativity is superficial, it's shallow, just kind of like no, then you're not different from AI. You just like mindlessly like making mashups from all this data, which is like kind of floating around you, So to be different from AI, it's to have your own reflection, like to be this, like to become kind of like a kaleidoscope, when all the stuff what happening around you is not like some kind of noise, but you see is like a beautiful, amazing uh, patterns, like everything connected and organizing and kind of uh, dynamic, like exchange, kind of all these flows. You can see it. It's became like this very nuanced, like tapestry, right? So like I say, like when you, yeah, some people like they're being privileged, they're being lucky born in a kind of like intellectual environment, and they're like neighbors, their friends, everybody like highly intellectual, very educated, interesting people. Uh, they're reading, classic, and they go into theater and stuff. But some people, they might be born in some kind of hell on earth, where it's like um, crazy, stupid people, like addicted and like infantile, like they're not really adults, they're just like big spoiled children. And I know this kind of society, like I seen it around. It's very kind of like, it's very heavy, it's very depressing kind of, right? And I like this kind of image when if you in this kind of environment and you also might be like this very low educated, not sophisticated person, let's say like very simple, very primitive, I don't know, like 50 IQ, something like that, then it's like really like living in a cave. So it's like a very, very crude, everything like very angular and not like in the movie Space Odyssey, you know, like there's a jumping monkey and everything like all these chaotic rocks and the sticks, and they're like like this. It's literally life like this. Like when you all you have is this like heavy rocks and all this darkness around you. Like you don't understand this world. It's very threatening. It's very aggressive and unpredictable. And there is like, you know, like a light in the end of tunnel, or somewhere there's always some light, maybe like in the end of tunnel, let's say there's like somewhere you can see, but you're trying to go, but it's so far, it's like kind of, it doesn't get much closer. You keep like going there, you scratch your knees, you scratch yourself, and they're like somebody screaming like "Whoa," and you hear the sounds like somebody fighting, you know, echo in the cave. It's horrible life. So, and then when you start to train your brains, when you start to educate, right? It's like this, your cave is like walls start to move in farther. Like now this like space became bigger. And then it's like you like your vision change. You start to see better around. You start to have like kind of mapping environment. You start to see like, oh, okay, so light go from here, then we have shadows, and we have this, and we have that. You start to see there like stalactite, stalagmite, you know, some different things. You then like when something like flying, like I don't know, like rolling stones kind of, you can like predict them, you can like walk out, you can avoid certain damage, you can avoid certain conflicts, and like that, you know, you improve, like keep learning, and every time you learn something new, like what does mean, like you better understand this world. Each time you better understand this world, it's like these walls going farther each time and farther each time, and the more light get into this cave. So it's like more light gets there, you start to see more, and again you can learn more. You can perceive kind of. You can see more information. You can see understand this world better, and this kind of you see is like start to kind of this progression, like faster and faster. So, and eventually, it became, like I say, it's like, you just look at this, like, oh my God, so many potential. It's like, it's not just a rock. All this, it's a material. All this is a sort, is like a resource. It have a lot of potential. You can do something with that. And then you discover there actually already somebody did something. Like, you know, you go and see like, okay, instead of some cave, you see like parks, gardens. You see embankment with all these flowers. You see somebody do like a cathedral. In this cathedral, they have all this like golden stuff, have murals on the walls. Uh, everything like so it's not just like a shiny and pretty. No, it's like you go to next complexity when it's not just about like shiny and pretty, like gold, money, big ass, No, you start to see it's just like uh, it's more about just potential. Potential is more important, like because I mean even like about these primitive things, like on a primitive level, right? Like because what actually people into, they're into potential every time. So if you like get more sophisticated and you start to see more, it's all about you start to see so much potential everywhere, and it's like just like whoa, what is that? Look at there. Here's some case. Yeah, like these characters from GTA. Yeah, like they're all very stupid people. Like essentially, if you look, they're very stupid people. Um, Lucas is like kind of like really like best life you can imagine is this like going to strip clubs, all this uh, like a gypsy luxury stuff. All is this best stuff you can imagine. That's so funny. Так. But we'll see what in the GTA 6. But in GTA 5, definitely they're like a not very sophisticated people. And it's also very interesting, actually, all this, I don't know even how to call it, like a genre or kind of stories, which they so much around world without God is really interesting. So if you know like Merci Iliade, like anybody know in the chat? Ready or not in the doors. Okay, can go very interesting. So it's like everybody know Joseph Campbell. Joseph Campbell, like his story hero journey about like Joseph Campbell, he study all like cultures in the world, all these ancient cultures and stuff. And he find like every culture they have this like typical archetype story about like becoming adult, like how boy became a man. kind of. It's called Hero Journey, right? So, and it was like super kind of hit for Hollywood. Everybody's like, wow, so cool. And Campbell was friend of George Lucas. So, like, one of most famous movie with this hero journey stuff. It's Star Wars. Yeah, and but there is like in the science, there's much bigger guy. It's Mircea Eliade. Like I don't know how to write his name. Mircea Eliade. Kind of this way. Uh, yeah. So and I like he talking a lot about. So he study also like he study like this traditions of different cultures, like ancient traditions, all this stuff. So and he say is like very interesting how twisted is a mind of contemporary people, because like we like if you look for people who's like mostly claim to be atheistic, they're actually like fanatics. They're fanatically religious. So it's just like no, like for example, take like atheistic groups who claim to be atheistic, right? It's actually just a form of religion. It's one of religion, kind of like a Christian heresy, let's say. And it's a lot of problems with this mentality when people negating God. So they have like a communist, for example. Communists, they've been negating every religions, but eventually they make all this communist stuff to be like totally like base, like how to say, they steal all religious things, like how to manipulate like society. They tried to use all this like like right now you can see it in the North Korea because they're really like promoting their dictator like a god on earth, so it's kind of funny, right? So like all this that's the most uh, atheistic kind of groups, they use religious concepts and they're very fanatic. Yeah, so let me, okay, I will write name, I will Google, wait a second, Mircea Eliade. Mircea, because like very cool for study, yeah, very important. Mircea. Look. So you can find some stuff from him. Так. So these characters, like in GTA, GTA 5. Like GTA 4 is different story. It's like it's about war. It's like how like like some kind of like an echo of a war, because it's kind of how far it goes. Like this guy, like Nico Bellic, he went to America not for American dream. It's not like he wanted to be like rich and famous or have like family and stuff. No, he went for revenge. He wanted to find like war criminal guy, right? So he's like Nika Bellic is like absolutely like traumatized uh, kind of character. Like he don't actually like interested in a normal life at all. And then like GTA 5 is characters like who don't know what to do with their life. Kind of, it's like people trying to find their place in a world without God. They don't have actual purpose, like money, power. So there's this character like Michael, I think, like who have everything. He kind of like his story in a game begin from where usually it ends, right? So he have this like a big um, haste, kind of. He have a lot of money, he fulfill all his dreams, he have like big house and stuff, and then he's too stupid to live like a civilized person. He don't know what to do, so best he can do is just again to become criminal. And a lot of stuff in movies and our current culture like around, they all like kind of talking around this idea about like how to live in a world without God, like a zombie. Like it's interesting. It's like imagine if like Pinocchio story. What is Pinocchio about? Pinocchio is about like what makes you human, right? How to be human. It's like at least like if talking about this like original Disney film animation, it's like super Christian. So there, these people like believe in God. They have some ideas and principles. So and the idea there was like you need to contribute, you need to sacrifice, you need to care of others, and this is what make you human. It's a nice message for a movie, right? And they base it all as like like imagery of Christ. And then okay, so he was like a robot Pinocchio, right? He been like object until he make a decision, he act for the sake of others, and this made him human. And then what is zombie? Zombie, it's a human who lost purpose. It's a human like who like forget or lost their soul. It's kind of like rotten Pinocchio. So if like um, Pinocchio kind of he gets the spark kind of in the beginning, right? So he have potential to become a human. Then he became a human. He kind of like um, realize his potential. Zombie, it's kind of human who completely eradicate its potential. So it became just like inertia, some kind of like physical organism with a certain reflexes, and like a robot just like keeping, and it's not just like keeping moving around. It have its reflexes to how to say uh, consume. It's so this kind of zombies right now. It's like if before we have like in the culture been ideas of zombie before, it was like course. It's like was this like some kind of like maybe it's a spirit which they cannot go to other world, or as some zombie like voodoo kind of like, so they're like slaves. So it had this kind of like magical kind of or spiritual aspect before, but then like this contemporary zombie, they call it a Romero zombie. Romero zombie, it's like from a movie Night of the Walking Dead. I think it was first time when it's appeared. So this Romero zombie, it's people who lost their soul. It's people like who just refuse, they kind of reject God. So they say like, okay, I don't believe in God, and it have nothing to do with me. Like I don't have any all this stuff. So they reject God, and this what makes them zombie. So all this genre kind of, it's about this. Yeah, they call it like anti-human. Yeah, so you see again like Sabidoria Pratica. Yeah, you say like zombie is human without humanity. Humanity, it's a religion. It's like some kind of like substitute for like people trying to find like, oh yeah, we just created a certain um, values is a, how to say, uh, it's like, yeah, one aspect of it, like, yeah, like weird culture and all this stuff. It's by form, it's uh, ideology kind of. I mean, like by form, it's our ideas. It's a product of our mind, right? By form, just by form, because this is just how it works. So, let's say water, you drink water, you can call like water is a fuel or it's a product, right? Uh, yeah, with a certain point of view, it have characteristics of a product. It have characteristic of a fuel. You can like find this point of view. Same, you can say like, um, yeah, we have like we can isolate our like morals and yeah, like moral principles. We can isolate them, like not connect them to God. It's just like, oh, we are like intellectual and whatever kind of, we just think reasonably, right? And this is a big debate about this. Like, I'm not most like best person for debate, especially about this. I just have my kind of opinion, my what I believe kind of, and what I'm choosing to think about it. And like I say, like No, usually like now it's just mainstream, so most of people they just following it without actually like reflecting and thinking about what is it. And that's why like reading like Mircea Eliade is kind of interesting because it will give you perspective on this subject. Because humanity is not think on itself. No, I don't remember. Like maybe I seen this interview with Vampire, but I don't remember. Maybe we'll watch it. Hello, hello. Yeah, and because for me, like I get to this myself, to all the stuff, and it's kind of like it's not even like a debate. Like there is a God. Definitely there is a God for sure, and there is like demons, devil, and stuff like this. And that's for sure. So, how there's like different way to seeing it, but good kind of let's say good news here is that like you don't need to invent this thing. You just like need to study your tradition because it's already in you. You already born in a tradition. So all these like atheist scientists, they speak from Christian point of view. They're just heretics. There's been like kind of uh, little insane in a certain sense. Okay, yeah, welcome, cool. because so many like real scientists, there is like scientists and like a lab of workers, and like yeah, usually these lab workers, they're most kind of loud. They call themselves scientists. They go on everywhere speaking about like spreading this, like they're believers in a certain like scientific perspective, when actual science is not dogmatic. So this so it's like science should be not kind of religion or cult. It's this scientific, how to say this word, like radicals, kind of this fanatics. They trying to make it into cult. So and I watch a lot of interview with like my favorite one guy, like neurobiologist, like so amazing, very cool guy, very interesting. And they all, because they're going so far into their like research and studies, and everybody who dig really far, they eventually will find God. It's like they eventually say like, okay, this kind of this is crazy. You cannot find like any reason for this. Like this cannot be some coincidence. And it was funny, like listen how he talked, because he's like every time he say like, yeah, like God not exist, but this kind of without God, this thing is not possible. It's just nobody can explain it. And just like, for example, like Earth, like life on Earth, for example, it's a very, very fragile condition. So it's like so fragile and so lucky, kind of. So if think about it, it's absolutely impossible how this like match of all this like natural like temperature, like a little change in temperature, and all life will be like ice age, or like a Mars, like everything just fire evaporates. And I mean, like, as artist, like I say, I kind of find it when I've been outdoors. Like I say, it's like eventually I was like looking for some interesting like insights, for some um, material for me, like artist, like some life-changing important material from drawing outdoors, study in like different life situations. So, and this kind of what eventually I kind of find God, you know. So I can like clearly, I can say like I know kind of kind of his presence. That's it. Like it's hard to put into words. It's not like so stupid like you hear in the debates. Usually it's like it's not like God in the cloud somewhere, or he's like walking around looking at you like, so, what are you doing? No, not like this. It's like very complicated. It's like in one way to explain it, to kind of verbalize, can say like God is meaning. So with when you feel meaning, let's say, it's actual presence of God. So He is only meaning. Without Him, there is no meaning. No, like it's nothing makes sense. Так. So that's why, like, if culture trying to erase God, like telling that there is no God, then they reject meaning. So this culture became like meaning, meaningless. Like it doesn't have any essence, any ground. It's called decadence, and this already happened in history. Decadence is like when kind of life became comfortable enough so people with the crazy ideas, like unrealistic, unhealthy ideas, they can survive. So they like walking around, they talking their nonsense, they still have food, they somebody support them. There can be like some government support. They have like sponsors, I don't know, like from somewhere, or they inherit some money. I don't know. Like they have some support and ability to survive, but they're like with their mindset on their own or in a less comfortable environment, they cannot survive because they're crazy. So, in the history, like every time this happened, like society became so comfortable so these crazy people can survive and spread their nonsense and more people kind of follow them. It's called decadence. And yeah, it's only lead to decay, like um, you losing your tradition, you losing your culture, and it ends badly every time. Yes, and decadence. I hope a word I use it properly. Word. Let me double check. Yeah, it's decadence kind of. Yeah, it's like uh, brain rot, death cult. As can call it many different ways. Yeah. And rejecting God is actually is kind of uh, symptom of decadence. So it's very interesting. all this experiments kind of. Yeah, it sound like a dancing club something, right? Yeah, it's like in France, I think it was this like elites. So if you know like who is elites, these guys, they're historically it's like most brutal and danger people. But then there was like in this kind of thing in Europe when there became kind of weird um, idiots like who just like no, I think not all of them, but this one huge part of them like who so much focused on ceremonies. So they play all these games like how to walk, how to talk, how to dress, have all this like um, say like fake hairs. And it gets so wild and weird. There's like makeup and absolutely like peculiar, crazy shit. Cool. Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Public Enemy, for feedback. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like for us as artists, like we need to know this stuff. Or at least we need to think about it, you know. And now it's like so many like lectures and discussions. I always recommend Hillsdale College. Like they have YouTube, they have websites, they talk about history. Very cool. It's like maybe it's only based college in the world. If you know some other, tell me. So if we had this kind of like community, you know, where's I know such people, but I'm not so kind of not being so lucky. Like, you know, some people like they just have community where it's like your friends, historians, scientists, engineers, like a real scientist. I tell again, not this populist who talking about. And yeah, when you have this kind of environment, right? So you much deeper in this subjects. You you really know the stuff very early. But we have internet, so we can kind of close this gap. Так. And not only close this gap, like I say, you need to become this person. So you will be this kind of environment for other people. So like I understand, and when I was work with children, so and I see like, okay, I realize it's not much about teach them art. First of all, it's about just adult and children relationship conversation, because children, they're like very in the constant education mode, like they absorb everything. And if you kind of like study stuff, you're curious, you're learning, you're talking about it, um, like you wonder, you make them wonder, and this kind of very important. So, like right now, it's our job. This kind of weird gun here. I prepare kind of gun tutorial, and kind of thing with the guns is like you can build some basic vocabulary, like how to draw some basic type of guns. I still kind of manage and find time for study them to build this vocabulary. So later I share full process how it works. Like I have already a lot of theory, like firearms structure, like different type of guns, like their structure. Then there is like even like poses is important, like how character can hold gun, like because like you every time you draw some situation, there is like moment in which character holding a gun. So he will like um, recharge it, or he will be like pointing at something, or yeah, there's like very cool, like like a switch between rifle to pistol, or type of stance, like on a lion standing on a knee, all this stuff. So same as like visual vocabulary. It's help you to have this like very clear cinematic in your head. I've been in art college, and I study oil painting in art college. It was like 2002. From 2002 to 2005, I studied art college, and it's like became like whole your time. We have like 5 day a week. It's about 6 hour drawing inside art college. Then after you have a lot of homework, so you need constantly draw, and it's never enough time to draw everything you need to draw. And yeah, most of all, what is most important is to this communication with a professional, because like my teachers, they was like real artists who they've been study academia like 11 years in academia. So it was like 5 year art college, then they went to art university, art academy in Moscow or St. Petersburg. So they work to like travel, make exhibition and stuff like that. But I always wanted to make comic books, so I just like right now I think they have some illustration courses and a comic book you can study. It's more like comic book artists there right now. But in this like early 2000s, no, only where I can study it was about like academical art. So they teach you how to draw from observation, and you don't know much about drawing from imagination or drawing like from memory. Yeah. So it's really very different. Like if talking about in American education as I see it, like they have tradition. It's like a illustration, like a golden era of illustration. All this like I think it was even before Norman Rockwell. I forget. Need to refresh history knowledge. And but there was like artists like who make like amazing paintings. They're like super realistic, and also they're like very narrative based. Like I think Franklin Booth, I think one of my favorite, if I remember it right, Franklin Booth. So when you study in America, it's already like have a lot of this storytelling learning. But again, like right now, yeah, you can learn a lot from internet. So anyway, it's like first couple years, it's always hard. No matter how you start, no matter where you go, it's always hard. You cannot like totally avoid all this uncomfortable stage when you are like not sure what you're doing. Everything's so sophisticated, so everything's so hard. But later will be easier. Так. Like, yeah, maybe you can go. I will give link also. I have this video about my sketchbooks, and I also talk about it. Like for me, what is one of the goals? It's I want to be like a Daniel Warren Johnson. So it's some kind of like Kim Jong-gi. I think like Daniel Warren Johnson, he drew better comic books than Kim Jong-gi, and because I want to be comic book artist, so I look for this type of process. And what we see is not much about like kind of you are not trying to draw without pencil, which is actually like Kim Jong-gi when he draw comic book is not like always without pencil. Important is just to balance your process so it's always fun. Like if you're playing computer game, like just kind of take this mindset, like what I'm talking right now, right? Like this, like hat. I don't know, right? So I tell like, okay, this is idea. Like you can draw your illustration or comic book, and it will feels better than play your favorite computer game. This how it should be. So you see, you draw, and it's like boom, so exciting. So you take this idea, like you get into this idea, and you figure it out. You study, you practice until you make it real. And I can really like I get it a couple times. I really know. No, I already can do it from sometimes, you know. So you just like see it like in the childhood. Like in my childhood, I don't have internet. It was only TV, and parents tell me don't watch too too long. So I cannot watch TV all day. And like right now, children they can like watch phone all day. No, in my childhood, even TV you cannot watch all day. So we make ourselves busy. And for me, like most fun was to draw comic books. So it's like go to friends, like play games outside. We was playing like football, riding skateboards, and also draw comic books. It was like one of the most fun stuff. So I take my like a kind of album, and I go to a friend house. He take his album, and we go somewhere outdoors and draw comic books, and it was like super fun. So, and I was kind of trying to revive this uh, feeling, kind of, you know. So it should be like that. So let me find. So I already talked in a video with Anime Academia with Colton and Christine. I talk in the end of stream. I was showing this comic book. So I don't know. Let's say this part of it. So I almost don't use pencil here. So there was pencil, but you know, it's not like I was like very serious about. I was just like I said, it's just like yeah, let's make it just fun, crazy, just like you know, just trying to make cool stuff. So here's like fighting this elf guy fighting with a Viking. And he's like, I was like, okay, we have like guy who is half wage of this guy, right? And I want to show it realistically. Like he cannot knock his down. It's impossible. Like, sorry, it's impossible. Like, whoa. Like trying to. This one I use 3D program to figure out this angle. It was really crazy. I was like, I don't know how to show. So also in the video about sketchbook I was talking about this. We'll give a link. So you see like not even one. Okay, like if this Viking punch him once, he will be dead. You know, so all this elf can do is just to be fast, not to catch any punch. So, and then I find this like a submission from Fyodor Emelianenko, like when he was fighting with a huge Korean guy. So it was like really like this size. So he uh, maybe broke, or maybe he makes this like kind of disjointed his arm. So kind of this. So it's just like, you know, having fun. So it should be like you like instead of like find somebody give you some toy, you make actual thing which is like should be better than anything other people can give you. You are provider, you know. And you do it with the help of God. That's it. So when it really works is when it's like God answer for your uh, request, or like not request, but just say, yeah, I see what you're doing. I like to support it. Let's see. Here was one of my favorites. Yeah. Also, I show it already. Oh, it's fun. Power search. Thank you for all your tutorials. Oh, you done a video on how to reproduce the same curved surfaces. And how to rotate curved surfaces in different angles. Interesting. Like, like first of all, I like to see examples of this because like it sounds very cool and fancy, but who actually did mirror curved you mean like kind of this, like I see. You know, yeah, I can do video about this, and I plan make video like called Boolean operations, like how to draw this complex forms in 3D and how to make this like a subtract, addition, this kind of stuff. It's very interesting. Also, kind of it's is not super necessary, but it's help to just make your art better quality. So, like I say, when you decide to be all your life artist, then sometimes you will just find time to learn all these nuances. Yeah, how to tag power search. I'm looking at Scott Robertson book and it's quite difficult. Yeah, so this is kind of what to say. It should be difficult. So you when you want something like fancy, right? Like this, like you want to draw something cool, then how you try to make it not difficult, like how you try, why it should be easy, you know? So it's like, let's say, like when you see Kim Jong-il drawing so easily, it's not because he find the way how to draw easy. He just get through hard stage. He did a lot of hard work. And this made him able to draw this so easy and fluent. So you should keep in mind, like sometimes it's very hard, and like when it's hard, it's absolutely normal. It's absolutely okay. When it's really hard, it's make you feel stupid, and you fall in. You start to sleep like like when I study new material, when I study some new techniques and I read some new information, it's like, oh, so many nuances, so many stuff, and like it's just like you want to sleep. It's like your brain shut down. Or when I study language, same. It's like you reach your limit, and brain like kind of, okay, man, need to rest. So you can like make a break for a 5-10 minutes, or you can really like sleep for a 1 minute, and then you continue. So it doesn't mean you should skip it. It doesn't mean you should to find like easier book. True here that Scott Robertson, it's kind of like only way you can go. So if you find like any other way, they will not easier than Scott Robertson. It will be kind of same thing anyway. And he explained it very good, very well. He like being like very detailed. You can understand all the stuff through his book. And notice he tell in there also very clearly. He say, if this part, like right now you go to chapter where you need to mirror this like curved surfaces, right? They say if this part is too hard for you, it's because you not practice enough with the previous chapters. So it's totally fine. It's everybody have this. You not learn it from a first attempt, from one try. You have a lot of tries, you have a lot of attempts, and when you feel like you understand and learn it all, after a couple of days you discover you understand nothing. You still have no idea. You being kind of delusion because you're like, yeah, brain kind of trying to avoid this like discomfort, So, and you need to realize like everybody has this, and only you can do is go back again and read this book again from beginning. That's it. It's like um, you need to do this. You need to do this work. I can't like kind of help you with that because you have you're not into position to say Scott Robertson book is hard. It's a forbidden. You cannot say this, because it's what it is. It's not hard, it's not easy. Its only way is like to really understand. It's to do this stuff. So your real problem, like your real stuff you might struggle with is when you don't know what to do, when you don't know how it works, and when you don't know where to find information. But here you have Scott Robertson book. That's it. You don't have any real problems because this book have all answers. Like for this, like your particular question, it's like like I'm really like I will make this illustration. Like you sit with the book, like say like answer, like literally answer for my question. This in this book in my hand, and here I ask you question, and I want you tell me answer. Like, how can I give you answer if you already have a book with all answers? So I just like give you instructions like how you need to have this like more like hardworking mentality, just to be aware of it, that it is not easy and it's totally fine to come back into beginning if something you don't understand or something not work as you expected. Go to beginning again, because you need to have like clear understanding how it works, Because when you understand how it works, you will not have any problem like that. That's it. It's like, it should be clear as day. It should be clear, like, like, okay, here is my left shoulder, here is my right shoulder. So here is like my left side, here is my right side. Like, I don't need to think about it. Like, it's kind of base clear knowledge. So same, all these perspective basics, they should be very clear for you. You should know exactly how it works. And there is only way to achieve it. You read this book and you do what he tell you to do. Just do what he say. Just do what he say. Like, don't expect you will get result if you don't follow your teacher's recommendations. Kind of this, yeah. Yeah. Like I say, so it's just how our brain works. Sometimes, like, you avoid information, so you somehow, like, you're skip this part when Scott Robertson says, like, if you struggle with uh, any chapter, it's because you doesn't practice previous chapter enough. So you need to go back and kind of study it better, like do more practice or read again, like read it once, twice, 5 times. It's totally fine. It doesn't make you stupid. Everybody does this. It's being really stupid is like not push it till a point when you really figure it out. That's it. So you just kind of reject an opportunity. And this, you see, is like kind of general thing which you need to like clearly like train yourself. It's like you buy books. When you buy a book about how to draw, it doesn't make you better artist. It will only make sense when you follow and practice it. You need to do all this job, all work, and you need to make sure you understand, like, most like straightforward talking, right? Like, just make sure you understand everything he say. That's it. And now you even can use AI to ask him about Scott Robertson book, like say like, hey, he here have this, like, I'm not sure I understand what he talking about. And even like AI will help you, So and again, like I see it so often, like everybody like buy Scott Robertson, say like, yeah, I read Scott Robertson book. Read? It's not about reading. You need to draw all this stuff. Так, so here I have like one more hideout. Let's do it this way. So, and then like what must happen with you? You should be thrilled and excited with the hard work, with kind of this like complex subject. It's like, oh my god, I don't understand. It's so difficult, and it should be like spark you. So like, yeah, it's so challenging. It's so complicated. It's make me feel stupid. I love it. It's great because it means it's something really you like. It means you really learn a lot right now. Because if it's easy, then you doesn't learn anything. It's just feeding your ego, kind of. You're like, oh, I'm so smart. It's everything so easy. I'm so smart. And usually, it's like happen like with the most stupid people. For them, most important is to feel like they're smart and competent. All these like bureaucrats, they just fighting for their image, kind of how other people see them, and they're like sitting in their chairs in their offices. They don't really do anything, or they're not really like competent in anything. No, they just like um, their fight is to protect their confidence, like they are better than other people, and like you don't need this. So it's a good practice for you to go towards uncomfortable, hard work. No, anyway, like you see, like I'm talking with the text in the chat, right? So I don't know you personally, so maybe, yeah, maybe this is not what you particularly need to hear. But at least I talking it for a content for some viewers for who it will be useful. Так, so let's see. Here will be sofa. Let's make like television. Here will be like plasma. Yeah, cool. Yeah, I don't have long pencils, so they all became short very fast. Так, so here is sofa. Again, here will be like this guy from GTA. This Lucia. Так, так, can be like, need to put painting on the wall. Refrigerator. Here will be some flowers. Here with some window. Oh, cool. Yes, this will be like 15 floor. Some very tall building, so we can see like second window here. So we can see some buildings outdoors. So a little longer. It's kind of like I'm not only it's like education program based on a drawing from observation, and when how to say it's so different thing is like even when we have in the program like you need to draw painting like illustration, but all these illustrations they're based on a real life material, like this stuff you draw from real life. So you see it's kind of like journalism maybe. And but for myself I've been always drawing some comic books and stuff. So I've been like drawing from imagination all my life. Yeah. So that's why a token is when you learn some principles and techniques, it's not like make you able to draw. You learn them to improve quality of your work. And to improve your work, to improve quality of your work, you need to draw something, right? So not draw only, study. So you kind of like want to be like in general good artist, because there is no thing like a artist in general. It's always specific. It's always like you, like what kind of profession in art you want to have, like a comic book artist, illustrator, or you want to be like in animation, like drawing storyboards, or drawing backgrounds, or drawing sakuga, So you should draw something like this, and you can start with any level. You don't need a good skills, good level to start drawing what you want. It just will be like, yeah, you will like suffer a little bit, but you must do it. Just accept is not kind of level of Katsuhiro Otomo, kind of. And this will also kind of stimulate you, motivate you to improve. So it will be reason why you study all this perspective and things. When you're drawing this, you in pencil as. Yeah, kind of you need to really quit your environment. It's kind of have bad influence on you, T. Merck. Do you find some more pencils there? No, I just like economy with the pencils. It's not like my creative choice. I hate to draw on this kind of paper, but okay, no big deal. Because like soft, I like more hard and thick paper. But again, like I economy money here, so it's kind of good moment to remind, like if you want to support my channel, if you if you want me buy new pencils, you can become member of this channel, or you can send me super thanks, or you can buy some my tutorials on Gumroad. I have like especially proud of tutorial like urban sketching, advanced urban sketching, stuff like that. I even don't know what this paper. I get this. It was some event, and like some Taiwan company being, they have some kind of like contemporary art sculpture from paper. And after they say like if somebody wants, they can take it from warehouse. So I went and take. So it's some like uh, paper donation from Taiwan paper company. So and it's interesting. It's like it's very thin, but actually it's a pretty strong paper. Like, so it's not it's not easily broken. So it's kind of very resilient, but at the same time it's very thin. So usually, like when I use brush, it gets through, or you see like this ink, so it gets through this paper. But I have a lot of it, so it's kind of okay. Yeah, I made this sketchbook. It's just like I'm sure. Yeah, I just you see it's connected with a thread. That's it. Make some holes and connect it. No, yeah, yeah. ID 05. Oh, you see, it's like it's here, so it's kind of not entirely free. I want to make money from advertising on YouTube, so I have like a very little income from people watching my videos, and yeah, because I have like I don't know. I wanted to be my like independent job, right? So I kind of work for myself, and having YouTube channel helped me in the future to promote my other projects. Like I have a book right now. I work on a book how to draw motorcycles, and I was already pitched to publishers, and the publisher tell me is like um, it's better if I have more presence, like more audience, because like publishers and everybody they don't want to risk. They want to make sure my books will be sold. So I need kind of like at least like 50,000 subscribers and don't know like at least like 50,000 views every month. So it will be good base ground for my publishing my books, comic books, which I plan to draw too. Like right now, I have a lot of comic books just like for fun. They're like actually, I think really like to make some fanzines with them. Will be nice. But I have ideas, and I want to make more like serious comic books with drama, like like a Daniel Warren Johnson. Again, it's like he is a great example. So yeah, if you can support my channel with the money, so yeah, it will be easier for me to constantly make video, because like I need constantly no, I need money to pay my what's it called. I need to pay bank for my house and leasing. Yeah, leasing. I think it's good. And if you can't like for some reason you cannot support with the money, you can support like share my video anywhere you can, or write your feedback. It's also very important, because I like right now I read every comment, so and every people who write comments, for me it's a feedback. So I see there is real people watching my videos, so I'm not talking here with my computer, which like, no, I mean, for me it's literally I just sit here talking with a screen. But at least like to know here's real people watching, and this is like useful for information for them, is really important. Because like I don't want to talk with a computer. I'm not crazy. So, okay. Yeah, maybe put some. And also there is some extra tutorials for channel members. Extra tutorials. You can become my member in Discord. And like I say, like on the early stages, everybody who support me right now, yeah, of course, like you became like a close friend, you know. Because later, when it will be like a million subscribers here, I will be just not able to read every comments and talk with everybody personally. Maybe there will be like Power Search and Team Merc making tutorials on my channel for payment. I will hire my current followers. I will hire you for making videos on my Gene Bond super huge channel. It will be like YouTube Academy. Oh, cool. Thank you. And guess if you don't know who I am,
Who are you?
My name is Bond.
Jim Bond.
who are you? Yeah, and I also soon will be like crazy news. I have like a super guest in my schedule. I don't want to tell. It's not like confirmed exact date yet, but I've been just talk yesterday with a super artist, and he say he will be guest here on my channel. So when we will find exact day, I will announce it. He's my favorite artist, and I follow him long time, and this will be huge, huge. Yeah. Yeah, now more and more I have, this like I message to my favorite artist and so like, hello, like I love your art, and so like, hey, I follow you too, and so like, wow, so funny, it's crazy. Yeah. Ooh. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah. But you know, also like what I see all the time, like a really great artist, like very not always, and I think it's totally fine if you are self-entitled, but you actually good. You can be like real pro and self-entitled. I think it's fine. But I see so many like very cool artists. They're super humble. I kind of can understand why, because you know it's like so much work and is a very long journey. Is like what I'm talking about. You know, you constantly find yourself in a place is like feeling like total noob, like total beginner. It's like I think I know it, but I have no idea. Like I need to learn it again. And you go back to your first book, like Scott Robertson book. I still can open it and study a lot from it. You know, so how in the world I will think like I am a best of the best, you know? So it's like always you think like, yeah. And when you really can, when you really reach this level, like when I was, you know, get this improvement with the anatomy and the perspective, it was so many work. I was, you know, it's like crazy. I have so many paper for this, so many sketchbooks for this, years and like decades. And I'm just like, yeah, no doubt. Like, of course I can draw it right now. I just expected it will happen like 10 years ago, you know? It's like from my like expectation, I get expectation like I will understand all the stuff like 10 or years, couple years before, not now, you know? So you're just kind of like disappointed in your abilities to learn. But after so many work, you're not surprised. It's not like a gift. It's not like you're just kind of low hanging fruit, you know, or if I use this term properly, it's like you not just like go to garden, take this fruit from tree. You did so much work, so it feels like you like dog will learn anatomy after so many work already. So you know, so here we have. And it's very interesting, like how many these like different subjects and different directions in art you need. like if you want to be like a comic book artist, for example, right? So there is perspective, anatomy, composition, line quality, design, coloring if you want to color. Then it's kind of certain conventions, visual language, because you need to study like conventions of your comic book direction. Like if you make manga, okay, you study some like manga conventions. Like you can look like professional artist and study from their work, or is some kind of typical book about manga. You can, I recommend, like I recently buy a book from my guests Anime Academy, like a really cool book, you know. I buy sometimes these books like which I might say is like, yeah, it's like for everyone, for beginners, but I just like good books. And this from Colton Dabell and Christina Dabell, their book How to Draw Manga, I think it's called. I will give a link later. It's just like very good book, and you can, as a teacher, kind of, I enjoy smart education, and they like have a lot of very good material, and I can learn still because I still working on improving clothing, some like shapes and gestures. It's always you can like keep like improving little by little, and it's fun to look more books and find some maybe like little nuance you can use for yourself. Yeah. So actually, once in my life, I was make this kind of clear decision. I think like, yeah, I'm so happy, and I love being artist because it's not like you will all life do it, but it never will stagnate. There is no point when you will say like, okay, there is nothing more to learn. You always need to learn something new. There's always you can be better. So you will learn all your life, and it's a good news. It's kind of what is make it interesting. Because I've been working in cable television as what's called. They call me engineer, but I was just like uh, manage like equipment room. There is like a room, like a server room. They have a lot of different computers. Actually, maybe I can find this drawing. Wait a second. Very old drawing from my job. Yeah. Yeah, it's my first drawing with the Macy cables. So this is my workplace. I was studying in university, in art university, and work like in this place. So have a lot of computers, and like each of them cost, let's say, how much. It's like, okay, like one of this thing is $4,000, just one this computer, and look how many of them. So I need to control like every of them working okay, because sometimes they have some glitch. You need to reload, you need to do some stuff with the cables, and need to control temperature, like make sure like air conditioners not broke. Sometimes they can break, and this stuff all can burn. I don't know how many $1 million this stuff here. So I get sometimes nightmares, like I forget to fix air conditioner and the stuff in fire. Yeah, thank you. And I draw this, and my boss is like, say, like, "Oh my god, it's look like a hell." They say like, "Don't show anyone because it's too messy. It should be better organized, you know." Uh, yeah. So, and I tell this, I was working here, and then I realized it's kind of certain point you learn it all, and then it became just mundane job when you just like every day you go here, you know, it's again and again like uh, this movie about when it's like same day every day and nothing new. And it's like, oh my god. And then I say like, oh, if I will be professional artist, then I will never kind of stop learning. It's impossible because you just look for some artist work. I understand, like you actually you a little too late. Um, for some level of art, it's already not in your range. You cannot achieve this level. So kind of all you have is keep trying your best and just find certain balance, like how much you will be satisfied with your level. Because eventually anyway it's not about like making best of the best work. It's just like to um, have some meaningful job, doing some meaningful work, and also enjoy the ride, right? So for me, like fulfill myself, like doing most meaningful work, is to do art. For somebody else, it will be something different. And also teaching. Yeah, I think also for me, teaching is important. Just like share my knowledge, share my insights. Yes. But yeah, I think I can also, yeah, I will do also sharing my insights in a comic book form as like talking my ideas. I will use like different characters, like there will be different characters talking something. Yeah, this can be like a Doom, um, ancient gods or something, decoration for a Doom. Okay. Uh, my favorite. It's kind of interesting. Like right now, I'm not read much comics. I only like look for comic book artists. And yeah, maybe recent I read Daniel Warren Johnson, um, this Power Power Punch. Let's go. I can take it. This one, do power bomb. So, what's not to spoil. Yeah, it's kind of. I like his classical composition. I like he has this drawn view, he has this like fish eye for a room. Also, if you notice, is not so perfect. It's not perfect perspective. Again, as I say, it just look very impressive. And yeah, so I kind of like recently I like um, Daniel Warren Johnson. Like this, do power bombs, and he's a space mullet. You should look on internet. He have for free his webcomic Space Mullet. Here have some art. And what I was read this like I like this comic books like more like a memoir. It's blankets. Mouse, very cool book about um, this kind of Holocaust kind of stuff. Yeah. So yeah, when I was like a teenager, I read Akira, but right now I'm not like a big fan of Akira story. It's kind of uh, it's hard to explain. It's like yeah, it's iconic. I understand. Its implementation. It's a great. It's amazing, but storytelling, I'm not really into it. And Mononoke. Oh no, Mononoke. No, Nausicaa. Miyazaki. Yeah, I read before. It's very cool. But now I don't have so much time to read. I have a book. Yeah, let me show it. It's very cool. I have a Mononoke. Mononoke. Nausicaa. That's, so there's so many. It's like 2 chapters. Always. Oh. Usually, like I'm so tired. I need to read so much stuff. Like study books. I don't have time to read so long manga. But art here, yeah, it's very good. And just I like how organic it is. How like just this what I like. It's loose but also very clean. So many work. Yeah, everybody must like Akira Nausicaa. Ah, Blame. Yeah, maybe Blame I will read one more time. Okay, yeah, okay, it's just so many stuff, so I forget everything. But yeah, recently I read Apazims, Apasims or Zims, maybe Zims, Tsutomu Nihei, and Blame. Yeah, this is something you must read. And yeah, I even might read it again because it's so cool. It's just So many comic books, I just cannot read them because kind of, don't know, shallow. But Tsutomu Nihei, like some of his works, they're just surreal. It's something beyond. I even don't know what is that. It's just like really like portal to parallel worlds. So you don't even think about like how good story is. It's just great stuff. Then I have funny this book like Inside Möbius. I have three chapters, also big stuff. And here he was like his late kind of work. He drew it. I think he drew it like without pencil. At least like it's super loose. So, like, let's see. There's nothing like provocative. And it's very interesting to see how loose he can draw. So I read in the annotation. I think he says like stream of consciousness. He was just drawing without any script. It's kind of his stuff from his subconsciousness. With some weird stuff. Anyway, what was this? Like, wait, here's this weird. Maybe make a turn around. Here looks down. But have you read the Blame or Apozims? I think really cool. It's just like it's like a very cool sci-fi and super iconic. Where what is it? Так. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, have a good time. Silver Comet. See you later. Yeah. So here just some random buildings. maybe poster here. Make carpet. Cleaner robot. Don't know what to put here. Kind of chair as well. Yeah, we'll almost finish too. Thank you for chat too. Power search. See you next time. shading. So this kind of paper also super no good for shading. For wash, this cannot hold water properly. Oh, hello, Augustine. Thank you. Yeah, cool. Hello to Argentina from Taiwan. So, oh, it's actually I should do shadows, but it's too late. Okay, let's do like this. Kind of shadows. It's kind of simple shading, just to make it a little more clear and so here it's a night outside. Here's some kind of ready or not in GTA 6. Okay, So kind of this for today. Так, let's go back to classic.
Madness. This is Gene Bond art.
Так.
Madness. This is Gene Bond art.